I want to welcome everyone once again to the Mayor's Press Conference. It's Monday instead of Wednesday this time around. It's rather nice outside, about 61 degrees and partly sunny, mostly sunny. I don't know, I see a lot of sun out there, so
It's beautiful.
get out and enjoy. I've got primarily starting off today with Halloween. The big event is this weekend, the 29th. And so I've got Jonathan Holmberg, Father Halloween or Grandfather Halloween, it's all age relative, and Brandon Thompson, who are here, as well as Chief Tom Pyle and Chief Bob Reimer. So to start us off, I'm going to roll it over to Jonathan and Brandon to kind of talk about this year's events and the way things are going to unfold.
Okay, well, first of all, if you can see the shirt here, this is this year's shirt. It takes a village with the village people in Skeletal. It's another one of the Kevin Morgan Uptown Dog shirts that we've had ever since the Halloween party became legitimate. 2 stages as always, one at Court and Union, the other at, what is that? Just Court Street, but it's just down from the Armory, a lovely Armory. Will you guys be lighting the Armory up this Halloween? Or?
We can't tell you.
Okay, it's a secret.
We are not.
It's a secret.
Likely not.
The North Stage, down by Cornwall Jewelers, will have 4 rock bands playing, starting at 6 o'clock and culminating at 12:30 with the lights out on the stage. And I've got 4 local bands, 3 local bands, one from Columbus. We've tried to fit every venue of music we can. We've got rap, we've got rock, we've got Grateful Dead-ish stuff. So, like I said, I try to emphasize local because it's our party and we like to showcase our people. And I'd just like to point out the cooperation before I turn it over to Brandon. He can tell you about the south end of town where it's a DJ madness is going on down there. And an amazing light show and everything. I'm a little jealous. But it does take a village. Without the cooperation of the mayor's office, the chief of police, and the fire department, we'd never be able to pull this off. And the great safety team Paula Mosley runs for the city, the level of cooperation over the years has been remarkable, and we've seen great strides in the quality and the safety of Halloween in years, especially in the last 10 years. It seems to have really turned around. We've gone from what a lot of people thought was an uncontrollable event to a very proud and safe event for anyone who wishes to come to town and enjoy it. It's remarkable how much fun people have on Halloween. It's really a lot different than it used to be. So if you're sitting at home and you're thinking, I don't know if I want to do Halloween this year in Athens, come down here, enjoy the weather, enjoy the crowd, wear a costume, and be part of the largest Halloween celebration in the country, and we're real proud of that. Brandon, you want to tell us about the DJ stage, the 4 Locos?
Yeah, so down by College Gate, we'll have the local ween stage again. Mainly DJs. It's been the DJ stage, but this year I wanted to change it up a little bit, so we're going to open with a country music act, which I think is going to go really well. That's going to be happening at the very end of the Honey for the Heart parade. We'll also have a hip-hop act as well, but then the rest will be DJs, so it'll be high energy. We also have the costume contest, which we really want to reiterate. There's money to be had. You can win money for best male, best female, best group. That'll be happening at 9 o'clock. That'll be when the winner will be judged. So if you want to be entered in that, make sure you get there between 8 and 9 to be judged. It's a lot of fun. And also something I wanted to talk about was we reached out this year to people about wanting to do something with the street during the day. Had some people reach out to us. We won't be doing anything this year, but some people talked about doing a mile race. A lot of community people reached out to us with some ideas. So just not a lot of time to do it this year, but I think next year we might have something that brings more of the community in, which I think is awesome, because we have that long, beautiful stretch of road, and our stages are across from each other, but there's all this space in the middle that people could use, and we'd love to see the community do some nice things with that. So
you mentioned, I should be remiss if I didn't mention the great work that Passion Works does every year at Halloween with the parade that starts at 6 o'clock and runs the length of the street and then back again. These people work pretty much all year putting these amazing puppets and costumes together. And if you've never seen the parade before the music venues start, then you should really come uptown early enough to see that. It's a great attribute to the show, and it makes Halloween that much more special. I mean, they've got 30, 40-foot dragons that they, haul up and down the street. It really is amazing. And it takes a village to do it. But yeah, the level of craftsmanship and the amount of work that these people put into the parade is well worth coming up early to see. And it's a great way to start the show. It really is.
Yeah, if I could add, for the Honey for the Heart parade, I know that they're always looking for people who want to wear these costumes as well. They probably have people already selected for wearing some of the larger ones, but they have a lot of costumes that anyone can just jump into. I did last year, and I will likely do it again this year. But it's a great family component that we see within the Halloween festivities here in Athens. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to Chief Pyle and let him kind of give some updates as to Halloween this year, this Saturday.
Thank you, sir. We have a lot of law enforcement resources scheduled to come in for this year's event, most notably the addition of the Mobile Field Force contingency from the Ohio State Patrol, who will assist us in basically some overwatch duties. We're a little, we have a heightened awareness of security given national events regarding terrorist acts, and so we will have more police officers in what we would call security overwatch positions, just to watch for suspicious activity and things like that. And so we would ask people to report that suspicious activity. You can do so by calling 911. You can call the local police dispatch number, 740-592-3313. Or you can grab just about any of the 100 police officers that will be deployed on the street, most street corners. Also, I would say you could report suspicious activity to Green Jackets. Those are the university dignitaries that volunteer to work the event to help with coordination and community concerns. And so it's very important that if you see something, you say something. As far as the prohibitions in the event area, the only two that I am aware of that we are asked about on a regular basis are the noise ordinance. Does the noise ordinance still apply to my house party during Halloween? Yes, it does. The big issue is that, that's not a big issue, but the only exemptions for the noise ordinance that City Council provides for are for the two sound stages. So anything outside of those sound stages, the noise ordinance does apply, and we will address noise complaints if a citizen calls one in, except for those two sound stages. Also, the Service Safety Director will declare a no glass zone for the event area, which will be essentially all of Court Street, where it's blocked off from traffic. And so no glass containers, and that's not just beer bottles, that's any glass container whatsoever will be prohibited in the event area. And so it asks people not to bring them in. A lot of times where people have questions or concerns or just need general information, there is again this year an information booth set up at the old Woolworths building on South Court Street. The address for some reason escapes me. Sorry?
31 South.
Thank you, 31 South Court Street. That's the old Woolworths building. There will be an informational booth set up outside, staffed by both city personnel and university personnel. And that's off the top of my head, that's all I can think of that's important to pass on. There will be a lot of police officers, a lot of engaged in a lot of activities, most notably geared towards order maintenance, things that tend to upset peace and civility in the event area or in the party areas, the traditional party areas associated with Halloween, will catch the attention of the numerous police officers that will be out and about. And so best way to avoid law enforcement attention is to not draw it to you. That's the simplest advice I can give someone. So.
Okay. Chief Reimer.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We have just a few pointers. I'd like to tag along with Chief Pyle, saying just be vigilant, be aware of your surroundings, be aware of anything that you see and letting somebody know. I'd like to remind you there's no open burning in the city, especially I know it's as tempting as it may be this time of year. No open burning during this, especially this event with large crowds. Be responsible, be respectful of police, fire, anybody that happens to be responding. Be respectful of your surroundings in your city. And if you're having guests or hosting guests overnight, we ask that you make sure they know their surroundings. Let them know how to get out of the house more than one way, especially if you're having 5, 10 people stay in your home. And if for some reason police or fire had to respond there, let them know. Let them know that we'll have guests staying over, how many that are staying there. Hopefully we won't have to. Hopefully we won't have to respond. But if you do, just be aware of your guests as well as yourself and the surroundings that they may encounter.
Great.
That's about it.
Thank you. There will also be Southeastern Ohio Emergency Management Services, EMS. There will be an uptown presence with them as well. So again, to kind of follow on what Chief Reimer was just saying, be respectful of them if they need to get through because someone needs to be transported. Please be aware of that. For Court Street, there will be a closing. Will start. Oh, here we go. I have my Deputy Service Safety Director, who mysteriously just showed up at the dais. Ron Lucas, if you get yourself mic'd, I'm going to turn over the street closing to you. There should be one in front of you. There you go. Thank you. And
Okay.
Ron.
Thanks, Mayor. Yeah, I did want to point out the times of the street closure that'll be taking place in the uptown area. So Court Street and the surrounding area, predominantly between College and Congress, will be closing down at 10 a.m. And that is to allow for the stages to be constructed and for the vending to be placed, which will start coming in at around noon in terms of the vendors. But the closure will go from 10 a.m. until we're done cleaning, which I'd say is approximately any time between 4:30 a.m. and 6 a.m. on Sunday, October 30th. So it takes a while, even after the party is complete, for us to get the streets reopened because we have to clean it all up. So some other important times, we'll pull parking from Court Street and the surrounding area at about 6 a.m. on Saturday morning. So you will not be able to park uptown. If you are parked uptown for some reason, after we close the streets, you are subject to being towed. We would hate to do that, but we need to clear the streets if there are vehicles there. Some other parking removals that'll take place is Mill Street between Lash and Elliott. We will pull that parking on Friday at around noon. It'll be posted on Thursday before noon. So Thursday, that'll be the 27th of October. You'll see Mill Street posted, no parking. And that is really all I can think of from a timing perspective. We talked about the music ending at 12:30 a.m. And the vending will be completed at 1:30 a.m. And the vendors will be out the street by 2:30 a.m. on Saturday.
Okay, great, thank you. And again, it's just reminding people to, be safe, enjoy responsibly, but be safe. And as was said, if, something just seems strange, then we have a large number of police officers and please approach them. And if you have any concerns, and watch out for those that you're with, 'cause the buddy system works and it works well. So everyone just kind of watch out for each other. So I think it's going to be, again,
Yeah, wear a costume.
well managed.
Wear a costume, tell your friends to bring their happy caps, and let's revel in the pride of what a great, event this is and how much work goes into pulling this off. And let's, make Athens proud. That's how I like to look at it.
Yep. And thank you, Jonathan and Brandon,
you, Mayor.
for coming here. Before everyone kind of disbands, as I go on with the rest of my press conference, I do want to, since we're talking Halloween and trick-or-treating and whatnot, the city's trick-or-treat is Thursday, October 27th, from 5:30 to 9:30. There's a follow-on event, which I'll get to later on. At 5:30 to 6:30, and then at 7 6:45, 7 o'clock, there's an event at the community center, which, again, I'll get into more detail later in the press conference. And then there's also the uptown, the Ayuba trick or treating. So this is on Court Street again. It's October 31st from 6 to 7:30. Again, put on by the Uptown Business Association. So there will be, while I've got Ron here, the street closing for that will begin.
We'll start closing the street down at about 5:15. It takes about 30 minutes to close the street. The goal will be to have the street shut down around 5:45 on Monday.
There you have it.
Again, though, parking, we will post it, no parking at approximately 1 o'clock on Monday, October 31st. That entire area will be posted, no parking.
Great. Well, while I have the press here, I have a couple individuals, one from the Post and one from the Athens News. Any questions that pertain to Halloween this weekend, 27th or the 31st?
Yeah, I've got one, just for Chief Pyle. Obviously, I'm sure that there haven't been any specific threats made toward Halloween. You just said that the increased security is just because of the national climate currently. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And is this technically more police officers than usual?
Yeah, I don't know, I've not, tallied the numbers to know exactly what percentage of increase, but I think it's safe to say we are increasing some police resources.
Okay. And you said overwatch positions. Does that mean up on building tops, possibly?
That is possible, but we won't go into details there.
Sure.
But those are all possibilities. But it's really about security detail more than law enforcement. It's more about security detail.
Okay, sure. Great. I think that's it. Thank you, though, for your time.
Okay, great. Well, I'm going to go ahead and excuse everyone up here.
Thank you.
To listen to the rest of this, which I'm sure would delight you. Continuing on with happenings around the city, Engineering and Public Works has several things going on. Columbus Road Bike Path Spur, the bridge is here, and, thank you, sir. The bridge is in. We're hoping that the construction with Ryder Company, which is continuing on, that we're hoping that the concrete will be poured this week at some point, but still a lot going on, so just be cognizant of the Columbus Road Bike Path Spur, that there will be construction vehicles down that area and likely some cement mixers delivering concrete. The 2016 water line replacement project, again, York Paving is working that project. Water line improvements, this is on Grand Park in Dalton. We're hoping to have the asphalt laid down this week. Trying to get this done before we go into the neighborhood trick-or-treating, but again, it's just dependent on sundry of other things, but that's our hope. Franklin Avenue infrastructure improvements, work is expected to be completed sometime this week. York Paving will continue to work on that particular project as well. Arts, Parks, and Rec, a lot going on with Arts, Parks, and Rec. One in particular will be closing down Highland Park because we need to remove the playground equipment and then get the ground ready to start installing the new playground equipment. October 26th, so Wednesday, it'll be closed down Highland Park until further notice so the earthwork can take place. And have it out of the area. The heavy construction or heavy equipment will be in and out of the area from now through November 4th. On November 5th, there will be the Community Build Day. The volunteers are needed to help install the new playground equipment. No previous construction experience or assembly experience is necessary. It sounds to me like a rather large erector set with lots of instructions, I imagine, to make that work. Wear clothes that are acceptable for working outdoors. Closed-toed shoes are required. Children and families are welcome to participate as well. Beautification of the park will include raking leaves, picking up sticks, along with the new equipment going into the ground. Anyone interested should arrive at the park 9 a.m. on November 5th. Pre-registration is not required. We ask that you contact Tara Giltz Highland Park Committee Volunteer Coordinator. She can be reached at tara.giltz, Gilts, at ohiohealth.com, or you can reach out to Andrew Chicky, who's the Assistant Director for Arts, Parks, and Recreation, about volunteering. Again, this was a grant, there was grant funding that came in from the Dr. Pepper Snapple Kaboom granting mechanism, $15,000 to get much needed upgrades to our park in that area, to that particular park. The youth futsal registration is going on now. It's $35 per child for boys and girls in 5th to 9th grade. Registration ends October 8th. Season will start November 15th and ends December 15th. So run on down and register for that. The Athens Community Center Arts, Parks, and Recreation is also hosting the 2016 Halloween Game Night event. This is at the Community Center Gymnasium, is what I had alluded to earlier. The event, again, is Thursday, October 27th, this Thursday, and will run from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Costume parade will kick off the event starting at 6:45, and that's hosted by the Athens Kiwanis Club and led by the Athens High School Marching Green and Gold. So that'll be pretty cool. So the high school will be providing our live entertainment in the form of music. Lineup for the parade will be at we'll begin our start at the swimming pool parking lot. After the parade, there will be carnival games, refreshments, candy inside the community center, and DJ Rockin' Reggie will lead the music at this particular event. And finally, a message that came to me from the Athens Fire Department, that the Athens Fire Department will be hosting an open house this Wednesday evening from 6 to 8 p.m. at the fire headquarters, which is on Columbus Road. And parking, people can park at the new OVMOD, which is the Ohio Valley Museum of Discovery, which is just down the street from headquarters, further down Columbus Road. Stop by for door prizes, food, education, you name it. That pretty much concludes my press conference for today. See you next week.